so let's start working on some lines. And again, this is up to basic, what you like it. You can open a reference image and maybe create from the reference image of the lens, or you can just open and create it to have fun. That's what we're going to do. So first, I'm going to create a glow ball, and this will be our center of the element. Again, right here, you can kind of, I find out useful for me to place semi off center so I can see how the all elements will going. If you want preview a little bit better, the other suggestions, you can use it gray color so you can preview the positioning of the elements. However, you will lose some details. So normally what I do, I'm using the black as a color, and just when I place elements, they will readjust them after. Okay, the glow ball, this will be center element, and again, depend after what you're going. So I will just leave it as default colors for this. And overall, just maybe reduce a little bit on ramp and take gamma and bring down. So just create smaller point center of our element. So the next, let's add strike, and how I say I use stripe quite a bit. This will create element. And one thing, if stripes add some coloring in these cases, I maybe want to add more interesting effect. You can always duplicate, and let's do this outside. So we'll go to kind of orangey color. Okay, middle, and we'll take link and make shorter. So right here you can see we have nice gradients also going on a line. So let's go our softness and bring just slightly down. So right here we combine elements. You don't necessarily kind of require, you can use how you like, but overall right here you can see I was using two stripes to one overlay with another one. Again, order of this, it doesn't really matter. So I can bring this up, and you can see we do not change any of the lighting inside. It's always used effect as a screen as example in Photoshop, so add overlay. And on this case, if you want darken, you actually need to select your stripe with a red color and darken this color. Also, you notice I have it middle center, so we can disable. And even I disable on this, but because how I said before, it's have it center, we need disable on both if we want to remove it, because it will take brightness points. But let's leave it this one right there. So next, I want to add maybe some stars and sparks, and one is one interesting, it's using sparkle. So let's add sparkle to this. And notice I'm doing everything from center right now. So this is my middle point where I want to create my lens at this moment. So I'm going set brightness, maybe too much, just reduce slightly brightness. Let's see on a scale, yeah, just about right here. Let's enable one way, so it will have it kind of interesting effect. And I want to leave it right here. Next, I maybe want to add some elements going on the side, so let's do this way. Many times when you work, you want to go back and forth. Like for example, I think this may be too spread, so I want to reduce softness and maybe just leave it on a link. There's two sides, so we can kind of have it a little bit sharper look that way. Okay, let's go next, and as example, we'll go and add polygon spread. Okay, so we'll select right here, going, says add element. A couple of things about this spread, sometimes it's going too far, so I can move a little bit, but so maybe just bring them a little bit closer to create interesting effect. I'm going to take spread and shrink it a little bit down. But we start losing end, so we need take position and bring closer to our center. Okay, next, we'll look on random size. Maybe, just bring coloring down, so it will be just white. Okay, pop-up count of them, maybe slightly. A little bit on a scale, and let's take brightness way down. So we kind of create this interesting right here effect. Okay, if you want to add something more to the end, you always can go and select, just as example, single poly. So we'll go select this one, add element, and this is have 5 sides. So our poly spread have 5 sides as well, so we'll keep it similar to this. Okay, we'll go take single poly. Let's reposition closer to the end. Maybe switch these two kind of greenish light. Okay, and how I say it's jumping and Photoshop. So right here we'll create one, increase size, and maybe add a little bit more center fade, so it will be kind of apply right here. The reason why center fade, so when we go to the middle, you can see it's kind of start effect going right here. Okay, this is one poly. Next, I will just go and duplicate this poly. Maybe offset a little bit more this way. Take scale slightly down. And switch to kind of more bluish color. Just rework, add a little bit more color to the edge with my polygons. So we'll go duplicate one more. Offset this maybe right here. Let's set brightness slightly down and scale. Let's go to duplicate one more time. Put it up front closer. Let me bring brightness so I can see the color and switch this to the red, kind of reddish color. Again, you can apply to different colors if you wanted. So let me take brightness. But in this case, you can see we have a kind of interesting other point of set on the side. Again, this is just example, so I'm showing how you can do it. You can combine, if you create art, you can combine different type of polygons. So right here we have polygonal spread. We can go and add even circular spread. So let's add this one. And you can see it's add even more interesting now effect dots, even we leave it as default. Okay, let's take position and bring just a little bit past slightly so we have it kind of out almost, okay, from our main point. Again, this is more as arts, it's not reference, so you can play around with this. Okay, we can pop up slightly on a scale, take brightness down, and let's pop up count of them as well. Okay, next maybe one pop up a little bit more lens, and I found out right here this middle add something more glowing. And this time when our Stargastic work very well in this case. So I'll go to add Stargastic there. Let me pop up brightness. Usually I pop up brightness so I can see them. And we can go bring closer. And remember what I tell you, you can always type. So we'll have it 9, maybe 9.95. Okay, we'll go set this to our color. Okay, and now we can take brightness just slightly down. Okay, we'll go duplicate this. We'll go to put it 1.05 slightly on another side. Okay, and let's switch these to more kind of purplish color. Okay, so in this case you can see we have a more interesting effect as well. Let's just pop up scale on the back one and drop brightness slightly down. So now we start having more interesting elements creating. Again, that is example. These glowing our stripes, I maybe don't really like them spread too much, so I will go to reduce link on a blue and reduce softness. Then we'll take other stripe. And again, right here I will increase softness, but I will take link and bring down. So you can see kind of create this effect. So let's go. Just readjust, see how it will work. There you go. So give it some interesting effect as well. Again, point of this, you can see you can add multiple different effects to creating some very unusual lenses, and you can create them, put it directly in your scenery, more like sci-fi. This is almost you can use as laser, something shooting, or some other effect. One more thing, so let's go add, and I want to add some of the actually Chroma fan and Chroma hoop. So we'll add a Chroma hoop first. Okay, and even this is too big. I want just reduce brightness, leave it slightly. Let's see on a softness, maybe bring closer. Run soft and reduce noise. And reduce arc so it can go just up front like this slightly. Okay, we can let me reduce spread and see on a brightness just slightly. The best one effect which slightly add on, and right here we have a nice effect. And let's add arcs just above this area. So we'll go to add Chroma fan right on top. Let's scale it slightly down. Also maybe set to 1 effect. Spread it a little bit more around. Okay, maybe just right here. And let's take brightness down. So you can see this is small effect, and when you start creating, you kind of start adding more and more effect and see which one is working. But even at this point, we already have a very nice effect. The next, I will add one more glow ball just in the middle. Okay, we'll increase actually, let's brightness slightly down. Okay, we'll have the ramp scale a little bit higher. And just small readjustment. So we'll see right here, maybe reducing just slightly. So kind of add effects. And again, right here we have it overall covering. So we can take this and move behind, kind of readjusting and see which effect will work better in this case. Okay, so let's go add a ring maybe to this. Okay, ring softness, and let's pop up ring brightness slightly. Okay, position again, it can lock, so we can lock. Okay, and inner color, we can bring something a little bit more darker, so we won't have it this too bright. Again, we can preview, see if we want to keep this effect or readjust. Also, you know what, let's add this duplicate housing. Okay, and adjust the position just slightly out on one little bit more, and we have another one, so we'll duplicate one more and put this a little bit out. Again, scale bigger and a little bit more on the brightness. So again, effect, you can kind of play around and adjust and see which one become too much. You always, if you think it's too many, like maybe this glow ball, so we can remove it and create some other effect or readjust and playing. So when you're done with this, you want to go ahead and save if you want to reuse. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to actually save. Okay, so the nice things about when we start saving it is we can reuse it. So right here I save as gap tutorial, so if I have some other ones, I can reopen and can reuse this in other tutorials. So we can go ahead and open maybe some image and try apply and see how this effect will look then.